The worst thing they can say is that there seems like nothing's wrong because I seem fine. I know. I'm strong enough to curb a smile. I'm strong enough to keep rising every single day. The therapist would teach me breathing exercises. They would tell me to breathe in and hold my air. But how do I tell them that I feel so full of black holes that I can't hold anything in? The Citalopram would make me feel fuzzy and the Prozac would drowse me out. Take long walks, they said. Sure, I thought, I'll take long walks on the beach, right into the ocean. I know it was selfish, but sometimes I felt so lonely, feeling worthless by myself, that I would want someone to sit in those black holes with me. But even still, there was always a language barrier when I would try to tell them how I feel. I would try to tell them that sometimes I wanted to die. That word that lingers at the tip of my tongue, and even to say it looks like I'm looking for attention. Suicide. That glowing exit sign that keeps flickering at the edge of my eye. But thank God I never left, and thank God I never chose that door. Because soon I could see the future, and the future was the map and the treasure that I had been searching for. The future was my gravity. I saw the future, and I was alive again. It's never easy to talk about anxiety and depression, especially in such a public way. But I thought, by sharing my story of anxiety and depression, if that can help at least one person, then that's worth feeling scared and vulnerable right now. So I started having anxiety attacks around the age of about 13 and 14. I was having a pretty tough time at that point, with a lot of things going on in my life. But at that point I didn't actually know that they were anxiety attacks. I just thought they were just some strange emotions that I was feeling. And then as I grew older, and when I started university, I then started to fall into a really dark and horrible period of depression. There were some days that I didn't even want to leave my bed, let alone leave the house. And at that point, nobody had any idea. All those emotions that I was feeling, I kept hidden in my head and hidden inside me. And the main reason for that is because the amount of stigma attached to mental health issues. And this is even more severe within the South Asian community. For young women and for young men, to talk about mental health issues, you're automatically given the label that you're crazy, that you have bad gut, that nobody will want to marry you, and all those ridiculous things are thrown at you, rather than actually asking you, are you okay? And what can I do to help you? And it was only about the age of 20 or 21 that I started to speak to people about my depression and started to look for help. And I know a lot of people might think, because I come across quite confident through my poetry, through my public speaking, that I can't ever face things like anxiety and depression. But I've been suffering with these things for about 10 years now. I'd like to say I've really got over the hurdle of depression, but I do have some really low and really dark moments that kind of creep up on me even still. The anxiety and the anxiety attacks are still sometimes there, but I've found ways to really deal with them and cope with them that are best suited for me. But for anyone who is out there that is suffering with anxiety or depression, the main advice I can give you is please speak to someone. Please don't keep all those things bottled up inside of you. If you can't speak to your family or your friend or maybe even your GP, then look for local counselling services either at your uni or at your workplace or at your school. Below I've also left some links for some amazing charities that are also there for you if you ever need someone to talk to. I know a lot of people ask what actually caused my anxiety and depression, and I promise I will share those things with you one day, but I just don't feel ready to yet. But in the meantime, I want to share the poetry that I wrote to help me get through it and share all the best advice that I can. I was so low that antidepressants took me. I would hear all those analogies of keep climbing that mountain, Jaspreet, but they couldn't see that I was hiding inside that mountain, hammering myself with a pickaxe, hoping that I would eventually feel something. Numb, slurred speech like I'd just got my teeth removed. Like a stroke, my limbs losing motion. Like a plastic bag wrapped around my head with just enough space to exhale, but not enough to actually breathe. My lips were always salty with tears. I would take long slumbers during the day so I could get away from reality for a while. But then I couldn't sleep at night. Fight or flight, but then I couldn't sleep at night. And if I ever did fall asleep, I would continuously feel that feeling of falling and then suddenly waking up with a jolt. Eventually I would shut myself down like a computer, reboot, black screens and flickers, living inside a haunted house with ghosts sitting in my chest. But nobody could see them, so nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. So I had to perform my own invasive surgery, cut open my chest and remove that disease. I saved me. And now it's time for recovery. Thank you for watching this week's video. Make sure you subscribe below so you can keep up to date with all the videos each week. Peace and love. Make sure you stay safe and stay blessed.